Hello, I'm Ruben Ochoa. I'm a C.O.L.A 2021 Visual Art Fellow. Cool. I'm even from elementary school when I was drawing comics. I would draw about things I saw around me, about the neighborhood, my own family's subjectivity, my own experience growing up as a Mexican American, and things that would impact our community, whether it was gang violence, drug violence. My high school art teacher, who I got to give a shout out to, George Papsiak, we're still in touch. We had the same birthday, and he really encouraged me right when I was about to graduate to pursue an art degree, to go to art school. And I looked at him and said, I can't afford that. Tuition's too expensive. And he's like, no, there's scholarships. And lo and behold, I applied, got scholarships, and then pursued my practice. The van is my family's. It's a 1985 Chevy van that was hand me down. It came from my family sold tortillas in it, along with several other vans. And so when I got the van, I drove it around in high school. Came to school in LA. Didn't really have a vehicle then, but when I started grad school again, it was the van I had, and so I converted it both to a mobile art space with the working office, storage, and gallery, and would invite artists. And I always had this idea. I wouldn't show my work in there. The only time I showed my work is in the beginning, to when I busted out in the scene, and I always wanted to make bronze tortillas, like make a set of tortillas. Because my family sold tortillas, I was like, I want to fill this van with tortillas, as much bronze tortillas as I can, because we would have to pack tortillas. We would take them out of the boxes and stack them in the back of the van, and they would actually, we'd stack them like bricks. And so I always had this idea, like, how many can I fit in the gallery? Like, maybe it'd be so much that the van will weigh down. Why bronze? I mean, the maize, it's yellow. It has this golden tint to it. I mean, if I could, I'd cast them in gold. Make gold tortillas, maybe for the future. But bronze, bronze also. I mean, think of like how people refer to people of the sun, the maize, the gente. It's bronze, like a bronze color, and so thinking of those connotations, and like, of course, flipping the art. You take an everyday object like a tortilla, and you now make that bronze. I always saw it as a elevated practice and form from like this experience of my family's experience, from vending on the street, by foot, by trunk of car, and then by van, and then to brick and mortar restaurant. I'm just like, well, how do we keep pushing that? And like this Darwinism, or like this, sorry, more like this evolution of like vendors. And as an artist, you're a small business, you're an entrepreneur, and you're a vendor, you're hustling out there. And maybe I could sell enough bronze tortillas now, and I'll retire my family from, because they're still selling tortillas. They've been doing it for almost 44 years now. So I couldn't retire them with my art, but maybe I could eventually retire them with my bronze tortillas. I mean, growing up, you would see racism was more blatant. Of course, the older generations felt it more directly, but there was a moment, 90s, late 90s, early 2000s, that there was a lot of inclusion, and people were like, oh yeah, maybe racism isn't around anymore. But it when you see it. It's very subtle, even as subtle as it can be. You feel it, you understand it. It's not gone away. It's just the last 4 years. It's just allowed. The former administration just allowed people to be more outspoken about it. But it's always been there. Unfortunately, it hasn't gone away, and they continue to be more outspoken about it. And it's just, they just start targeting different groups, and that's very unfortunate, because it. But what I do, what's occurring now is like, I mean, there's coalitions happening across the board, people supporting each other. It's no longer just one one group of people or one ethnicity supporting background supporting each other. These coalitions are forming, and that's happening across the board, not just in the art world and in the artwork, but across the nation and across the world, which is quite amazing. And I think that impacts the work. The work, it's a bronze tortilla. I may not say that, but a bronze tortilla in a mobile gallery that's in a white cube in a mobile gallery that used to be my family's tortilla delivery van. That's being supported by the LAD, LA, LADAC. Did I get that right? The LA, Cultural Affairs Committee, and of course the LA Municipal Art Gallery to do work like this. You could take the everyday object, and you could really the everyday object could signify much more than just a tortilla in the van, just a brown tortilla. It could signify people, culture, history, whole history from pre-Columbus creating the tortilla, whole generations coming from the tortilla. This idea of barter, the staple of not just food but of people. It's cross-cultural. Who doesn't love tacos? Who doesn't love tortillas? So hopefully one will be able to see that and see the weight. It's almost like how much that phrase or poem, that story, how much, what does the king say? How much do you love me, daughter? And she says, I love you more than salt. And he gets so upset because he's like, what? How do how dare you just love me more than salt? Until he bans her, and then I think I'm butchering the story, but pretty much salt gets banned as well. Like some fairy godmother, someone bans the salt, and then he realized how valuable salt is. And I think the same for the tortilla for whole history and for a whole culture. The tortilla is very valuable.